I just sold 2 shares. I was waiting for this follow through here, um, and I didn't love this follow through bar, so I didn't sell on this close, and then I just saw it go in my direction. So I thought if I sold here, I'd still be short. So let me just sell at the market wherever it is, but trade smaller. So I only sold 2 shares. I was ready to sell 5 up here, so I just sold two, thinking that I'd still be short anyways. So might as well just get in wherever the market is. But I should have sold that close. Um, so now I'm sure I'm short 2 shares, looking for a move lower about 50 cents. Get out there with 50 cents. I'm happy I made the decision to get in because I would still be short. So I think that logic makes sense. Um, but it would have been nice to get that sell because that's exactly what I was waiting for, and I just hesitated and I didn't make up my mind and let it go without me. So could have been, and I would have traded bigger. So could have been a pretty good trade, but happy I still got the win. So two shares, 50 cents, so a dollar profit. I bought 3 shares here. I was waiting for a pullback, and as it started to bounce, I just bought because um, I was thinking that we're gonna have a swing up now or soon. So I bought 3 shares here, and I'm willing to buy more lower. We had a climax here, and I was looking for a second climax, but because of the two bull bars, I didn't know if we'd get one. So I wanted to buy a small pullback first with small size and then add more later. It looks like this bar down here could be that second climax, and so this could be the start of a swing up. So we'll see what we get here. I have 3 shares in, so um, I'd like to get more, but we didn't drop enough for me to add, so I'm not sure if I want to add higher, but at least I have 3 shares here in case we do start to swing right now. So I'm still holding long, have a wide stop, so I'll give it a little bit of room, see if we can reverse up now. Okay, about another 2 shares there. I think it would have been better to buy above a bull bar, and that's maybe what I should have done, but I'm going to give it some room. I thought that these two bull bars decrease the chances that we continue lower because usually after a climax, if you get two bull bars, you usually get one more move down and that's the end of it. So I'm gonna trust that read. I'm gonna stick with it. All right, so definitely not working out as I had hoped. It's tough to exit because the more the lower it goes, the more the probability increases that we're going to bounce. But at some point, you just have to exit. So I know my stop's at 305.50. So once it gets there, I'll exit. But then I have to start looking for another buy. So it makes it tough for sure. But it's definitely not doing what I thought it would. So it makes sense to exit for a loss. But it's okay. Like I plan to risk $10 per trade. If I lose this, I'll lose about $10. It sucks because I haven't made $10 on a trade. So it's going to wipe out a lot of wins. But I think it was important for me to do it and important for me to take the loss if it comes. So a lot of times when I'm in a trade like this, I'm constantly saying, like, I need to give it more room because I'm so tight with the stops. And this is bound to happen when you use a wide stop. There are times when it'll fill that wide stop. So clearly there's a mistake that I should have scaled in above a bull bar. But even if I didn't scale in, I would still be long from my first position. So I would have still taken some kind of loss. And we're still getting consecutive climaxes down. So if I do happen to get stopped out, I'll be quick to re-enter. Like I'll try to regroup and make sure I'm making a rational decision. But it's still climactic and still consecutive climaxes down. So if I do get stopped out here, I'll look to buy again if the setup presents itself. All right, stopped out there. I don't even want to check down 881. Yeah, tough loss for sure. But I think there's some learning lessons here, and I think maybe it's okay to get stopped out on a day when that is extremely unusual. Like this doesn't happen every day. We drop 4.5% or 4%. So I think it sucks, but it's an unusual day. So now we're still extremely oversold. So I'm gonna have to look for a buy. Okay, I bought again here. Consecutive climaxes, faded close. So that's what my first entry should have been up here. So I think this is a reasonable setup to take. I'm counting on this not being an emotional trade. I think that this is a good setup. So see what we get. I don't want to treat this like a makeup trade to make back everything. I just want to treat it like a normal trade, as if I'm doing it from scratch. So um, I'm long 2 shares. Obviously, wish I traded more, but I thought that was reasonable based on where I wanted my stop. And I'm looking to add more on a small pullback, betting that this is the start of a 2-leg swing up. I exited there. I didn't want to see this follow through bar have a bear body and be a bear signal bar. So that's what I would do on a normal trade. I would exit below that. So 766 now. I was hoping for a consecutive bull bar, but we didn't get it. Bought this as right as it closed. Probably should have waited for it to go above, but I just had to do it quickly, so I bought above that bar. We have a double bottom. I really wanted a good signal bar down here, but we didn't get it. Instead, we went up, tested back down, and then got the signal bar. So I bought above it, betting that we have to test up here after a double bottom, way oversold, buying right near the low of the range. So I think it's a reasonable buy. I couldn't buy my full size again because I didn't get the right setup that I wanted. So doesn't look perfect, but it is a bull bar closing on its high. So I think it's reasonable given the context that we can get a decent move up from here. If I do get stopped out here, and then we reverse up again, then that's the one I'll take with full size. But if this goes up from here, then I'll have to take a smaller winner if it does work out, just because the setup didn't look perfect for me. I think an issue I noticed today is that, like for the last 120 trades, all of 300 to 400 and then 400 to 420-ish, I always trade a little bit smaller than I could. So if my max risk is $2, I trade $1. If my max risk is $10, I do $3 or $5. And so for all the really good winning trades for the last 120 trades that have worked out, I've only been making half of what I should be. But then when a situation like this comes along, and I'm still only willing to risk the same as any other trade, which is $10, but when I'm scaling in and I'm using a wide stop, in the event that it doesn't work out, like what happened today, I'm gonna lose $10. And so I'm losing my full loss when I'm wrong, but I'm trading with my full size when I'm wrong, but I'm not trading with my full size when I'm right. And so I'm gonna need to start making sure that when I see a setup, my risk is $10, I need to trade with a $10 risk and not try to be extra safe, because the ones that I'm being safe make sense. They're still good trades, and I need to trade them with the right size. So I think that's an important thing that I learned today. Not necessarily about price action itself, but about how I'm managing my decisions for my size. I think I really need to start, like, if I'm gonna scale in, then it makes sense that my first entry I'm risking $5 and my second entry I'm risking $5 for a total of 10. But many times I'm just trading a stop entry buy or a stop entry sell. My stop is right above or right below the bar, and I'm still only risking $3. I don't think that can happen, because it makes these days harder. Even though today is not really a big deal, like it's less than a max risk day. My max risk is $10 per trade, and I lost I'm at $7. So, yeah, I'm at a $7.66 loss. So it's not really a huge deal, but it feels like a big deal because all my wins are like $3 to $5. So stopped out there. And now if we reverse up again and get that second entry buy, I think that's the high probability one. It's crazy. Like these days, you just think, I've never seen a day like this. Like, how can it go any lower than this? Because normally they reverse up in this area, like a measure move down, and that's it. Today is a really crazy day, and it's just surprising how low it can go. So 979 now. All right, I bought here. We're at a double bottom. Usually, even if you do get a breakout from here, it doesn't get down to a measure move, especially, I'm thinking especially not on a day like this, because that's pretty overdone. So I have my stop below a measured move, thinking that it won't get there. And so we have a double bottom and then a failed breakout and a bull bar. So I'm thinking this could be it. I don't like, at this point my confidence is pretty shot, so I'm not really trusting my reads, but I think it is a reasonable thing to do, and I think my stop's in the right spot. We have a micro double bottom here as well, so I think it's an okay thing to do. I'd like to see consecutive bull bars. If we get a bear signal bar, and we don't get that much strength to the upside, then I'll look to exit and see if I can get something else. I think this is going to be a day when I look back and just think, like, what are you doing? The market's been going on all day and all I have is buy orders. I'm buying everything. It's crazy. Man. And like, I would never buy here with 3 shares, have my stop down here, risking 10 bucks. I'm just doing it now because I'm trying to trade as big as possible. It's crazy. All right, stopped out. I don't know what to say. It's just a crazy day. I think I needed this though. I needed a day like this just to remind me that, you know, it's not all figured out. Remind me that I have a lot of work to do still, and remind me that I can't play around like this. Like, yeah, it looks right. You can use a wide stop most of the time and be okay, but a lot of these ones, like I got in early here thinking I'll make it work. Here I got in thinking I have a stop down here, I'll make it work. Like, you can't do that. And I needed this as a reminder. So, and also like wide stops are fine, but I gotta be buying with wide stops in a bull trend, not buying with wide stops in a bear trend. Especially in what I didn't realize at the time, but this is just a small pullback bear trend. And I think these entries down here, they're okay. Like this one was okay, but it's just a huge bear trend, and there are way better ways to enter. I just wait for a big bull breakout and then enter. But I'm entering all of these just hoping for a bull breakout. I can't trade like that. So a frustrating day, but I think a much needed day, just to get me back on track. So probably done for the day. Down 17 bucks, which is crazy. Biggest loss. All right, I'm done.